$20. I promised myself I wouldn't make any more white store jokes, but when the place has enough security mirrors to look like a funhouse, I can't help myself. But that's besides the point. We're all gathered here this evening to look back on our long journey throughout high school. For some more so than others, it's been a long and strenuous journey, from which you have prevailed. Tonight, we're here to celebrate the good, the bad, and the ugly with respect to our high school journey and the impact it has had on us moving forward. Welcome graduates, parents, family members, Mr. Steva, school administrators, and distinguished guests to the class of 2016 3-month reunion. My name is Kyle Collins, and I'll be your companion this evening. At this time, I ask that you please fasten your seatbelts, secure all bags underneath your seat or in the overhead compartments. Please turn off all electronic devices, including laptops and cell phones. Smoking is prohibited during the duration of the speech, but at some point my speech should crash. I would like to direct you to the emergency exits in each of the corners. I would like to thank you for choosing Boston Airlines, and I hope you enjoy your flight. I would like to start my speech where it all began, in grade 9. On our first day of high school, we traveled from all different places: Oakville, Burlington, Mississauga, Hamilton, and many from the mystical land of Milton. When we arrived, we were all greeted by the same crass brick building that, if not for the cat, we would have had a subtle feel. We anxiously searched for our classes, looked for familiar faces, and awkwardly introduced ourselves. We were careful to avoid certain areas, travel with a buddy, and avoid any eye contact with the scary-looking dudes that occupied front hall. Many of us couldn't find our classes, and other more directionally challenged individuals such as myself couldn't even find the North Campus. Yes, I had trouble finding a single path towards the building. Even though our first year at WASP was seen as a great place, it soon became our home. And this takes us to me to grade 10. In grade 10, we were experienced, adventurous, and I was trying new things. My 100-pound grade 10 self had the genius idea of joining the football team. I can't remember anything else from that year. Next up was grade 11, where we found out who was crazy enough to do IB and who wanted to sleep at night. Grade 11 was kind of like the quiet before the storm. Lastly, we have grade 12, which I feel would be likely to be former Wildcat push Swampy's hit single with a reality hit. People went from 0 to 100 real quick. For example, in grade 11 biology, we looked at plants, animals, and other organisms. In grade 12, we learned that the theoretical maximum yield of ATP through the oxidation of one molecule of glucose in glycolysis citric acid cycle and the oxidative phosphorylation is 38. If you didn't understand that last sentence, neither did I was in the class. Grade 12 was certainly a challenge. We had to get good grades, get involved in school, and figure out what we were going to do in the following year. But it was also a lot of fun. We made many great memories. Semi-formal, the inside ride, grad camping, prom, and prom, all great memories of WASP that I will never forget, and I we will never forget. In the fall, I'll be summarizing our experience at WASP, and then giving you some last words of wisdom before we depart in the bright future that awaits you. Although WASP has been our home away from home for the past few years, there are many less than favorable conditions we had to deal with. Throughout our time at WASP, we faced many obstacles, and it's truly amazing we made it this far. I feel like the most obvious is the perilous journey that we took multiple times a day to get to and from the North Campus. Now parents, you may think a 5-minute walk isn't that bad, but when it's negative 15 degrees outside, and you only have 2 minutes to get to the 3rd floor, you sure move your butt. The only problem is that once you reach the 3rd floor, you wish you were back outside. I'm really not sure what type of sick joke the builders were trying to pull, but that place is literally a sauna. For anyone who's written an evaluation up there, you deserve a medal of honor, because you risked heat stroke and all sorts of conditions to your grade. The biggest issue of all were the bathrooms. Only at WASP would you exit the bathroom earlier than when you entered. I think we should all blame whoever was rude to Mr. Steva back in grade 9. Because as soon as we were out the door, the bathrooms were magically renovated and brought back to the 21st century. With all this complaining, you might get the impression that WASP is not a good school. It could not be further from the truth. Despite these issues, WASP is an amazing school. Not for the building, but for the people within. In terms of our teachers, they are always looking out for our best interest, even though we may not have seen it at the time. Almost every single one of us is a teacher we can picture right now that made us work hard, and while we may not have liked it at the time, we look back and in retrospect, we knew this is for our own good. At least that's what I would tell myself when I started cross-eyed at one of Mrs. Anthony's infamous tip questions. Beyond the teachers and administration, I firmly believe that we are an incredible group of graduates who will undoubtedly achieve success in the future. We have amazing athletes, scholars, and leaders amongst us who will do great great things and have we have graduates attending very prestigious international and domestic schools on both sports and academic scholarships, as well as others who show great potential for success. I can't wait to see what our class will accomplish. Another great thing about our class is that although we had various squads, such as the PC squad, the OBO squad, TGS, and the Fab 5, almost everyone was friendly and accepting of others. I think this is what made our grade special to some extent. If I were to ask you how many of you do meet in grade 9, I would assume very few of you would raise your hand. And the reason for that is because I was very shy and not very outgoing in grade 9. If I told my grade 9 self that I'd be up here in front of you today, I probably would have laughed going back to my Minecraft video. But what I'm trying to say here is because of all you that I'm up here this evening, and I really appreciate that. This leads me to what I've learned from my time at Valedictorian secondary school, which is you regret the things you didn't do more than the things you did. If there's only one thing you take from my speech, it should be this. Always look to step out of your comfort zone, always look to better yourself, and never settle for mediocre. It's amazing what can happen when you put yourself out there, and as hockey legend Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. According to the How to Write a Valedictorian Speech article I found on WikiHow, this is the part where I'm supposed to leave you with some final advice to make you reflect as you go to the real world. The only problem is I'm a little hesitant to do so. How many of you are familiar with Socrates? Anyone? Yeah, okay, cool. Diocles, there you go. The only problem is I'm a little hesitant to do so, because for those of you who aren't familiar, he was an ancient Greek philosopher who liked to give people advice. They poisoned him for that. So in light of that, I'd like to give you some quotations that I feel are appropriate for this occasion.